Long-awaited Black Rose retrain and support is here. You guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. You know, I was really happy to see that we got new Black Rose support today, because Akizas is one of the biggest fan favorites that you can actually toss support at. And you already know that so many people are very happy about this. So starting things off here, we have the Violence Rose Witch, and you can tell she got the look of being crazy. Alright, and she's at 1100, 1200, and a level 4 Dark Plant at that. So that's actually not too bad of a stat line. And you can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. So if you control a Black Rose Dragon, a monster that mentions it, or a plant synchro in general, we can special summon this card from your hand. Also keep in mind that this itself is not a tuner monster, which I can work with that. I don't hate the fact that we're missing that, but that's fine. If this card is sent to the graveyard and a synchro monster is on your field, you can discard a card special summon a plant monster with 1500 less defense from your deck. Also, you can special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for synchro monsters. Man, that really stinks that it has to be when it's sent to the graveyard. It's when it's sent to the graveyard and you have to have a synchro monster. But I guess, interestingly enough, you could technically Foolish Burial this and then trigger the discard effect to add at that point, which I don't hate that idea, actually. That's actually kind of a pretty cool thing that you could do with this. It's just got to be, it just has to go to the graveyard and there has to be a synchro on the field. But it's also, a synchro could be on the opponent's field. So that's actually another interesting tie-in too. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking a little bit too much about this card, but it seems like there's some decent tools there to try to make this a little bit better. What are you? Twilight Rose Black Knight. You know, I didn't expect to see this guy getting a retrain of all things, but I'm here for it. So it's on 1,000 on a level 3, and this is where our tuner monster is going to be interesting. So you can only use the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is normal or special summon, we can special summon a Black Rose Dragon or a level 4 or lower plant monster from your graveyard. But unfortunately, it is... Why does it have to negate the effects, man? I guess that would be a little bit too good. Plant monster you control gain 1,000 attack while you control a synchro monster. Okay, that's actually pretty good. So if you use this to revive a Black Rose Dragon, then the powered up monster will be basically good to go, because this will turn into... It's all plant monsters. So this will turn into a 2,000. This turns your Black Rose Dragon into a 3,400 attack point monster. That's actually pretty decent. And then we target one of the plant you control and increase or decrease its plant by 1. Or its plant, increase or decrease its level by 1. It's actually pretty good because we can modify this into a level 4 tuner. We can also modify the Witch here into a level 3. We could technically make a level 6 synchro. So that's pretty good. Alright, everybody. This is where the goo is. We got a brand new retrain for Black Rose Dragon. Now, I'm kind of surprised about this because I didn't think that Konami would look at Black Rose Dragon and go, hey, we're going to give you a retrain. That just doesn't seem like Konami's current agenda, but they managed to do it. So it's going to be a 2,400 attack and an 1,800 defense. And it's going to be a plant tuner plus one or more non-tuner. If you were hoping that you could make this generically, unfortunately, they just slammed any sort of idea that you could have with that. Each time your opponent activates a monster effect, inflict 600 damage to them when that effect resolves. And if you do, all face of monsters they control will lose 600 attack. I feel like it's a little bit more flavorful than it should be. During the main phase, we can quick effect tribute this card, so summon a Black Rose Dragon from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. Okay, well, you know, considering how old Black Rose Dragon is, make sure that the card doesn't miss timing. because that is a very real thing. And we can banish this card from your graveyard. Special summon a level 4 or lower plant tuner from your graveyard. So this floats back a resource, gives you the ability to basically ping your opponent for 600 for every monster effect that they're going to try to do, which is actually going to force them to answer this quite quickly. Because the longer that this card sits on the field, the more of a burn problem that they're going to have to deal with, which is kind of freaking funny, actually. I like that. Then we got the Hate Rose Witch. This art is absolutely amazing. So it's a tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters. Now you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. So if this card is Synchro Summon, we can send up to 2 plant monsters to the graveyard. One from your deck and one from your extra deck. And you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except for synchro monsters. Is this a plant? No, this is a dragon. Interesting. Okay, so we can send 2. Alright, I can't think of anything else that abuses that, but I wholeheartedly assure you there's something. Plant monsters you control cannot be destroyed by effects. That's pretty good. And then if this card if a card or cards on the field, it would be destroyed by card effects while this card is in your graveyard, we can special summon this card. Interesting. So it actually floats itself back to the field to actually punish the opponent. That actually seems pretty decent, actually. This card actually isn't terrible. Extra dumping, the ability to float back to the field. These types of things are, well, we like these cards. And then we got the Black Rose Garden. And it is a continuous spell card. I will tell you, this art is frickin' sick, man. So you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. You can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. So when this card resolves, you can add a Rose Dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Face-up monsters on the field become plant monsters. That's a floodgate. That's really good. If this card is destroyed, inflict 100 damage to your opponent for each plant monster in your graveyard banishment. And if this was destroyed by the effect of Black Rose Dragon, inflict 2,400 damage to your opponent. Okay, so we have a free extra 2,400. Basically, this card can burn your opponent for, if you got 14 plants down, 15, 16, it's basically 4k damage. That's interesting, actually. I wonder if that will actually end up being a really broken effect. But all these cards are fantastic. But what do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.